Hello Virgos, this is Tarot by Tess, doing your September 2017 reading. I'm going to try a new spread. I've never done it before, and it's 10 cards, so in order to make this video not forever, I won't go into extreme depth or detail. I want to try to keep it watchable. Okay, so 10 cards. The first card is, what is something that can be used? Something, anything regarding the month of September that you can use. Okay, so this is a very helpful tool or spread, and so I thought that would be something interesting to use. Something you can use besides tarot. Okay. 3 of Cups reversed. The next one is, what is something that you should put aside, put on hold? Doesn't mean say goodbye to it, just means put it aside. What's something that needs to be put aside for September, or could be, should there be a lot to do? I think that wanted to come out. The Empress reversed. Wow, who else got that? I think it showed up in a few readings, but it may have been Sagittarius. Okay. What should you prepare for? What should Virgos? Okay. Oh. Okay. It's supposed to be 3 cards, but we got 4. This up a little bit. I'll tell you what they are and show them to you and talk about them. All right, the 4th card is, what is a new path or a new strategy that's coming up in September? Could even be a door opening, that kind of thing. Oh, that's way too many cards. But I did see the Magician on the bottom of the deck earlier, so even though it's not in here, I think the Magician might be important to your reading. Okay, let me shuffle again. Okay, so the 4th card is, what is the new path or new strategy? What is the new direction for September? If there is one. I may just have to draw because this is taking forever. Okay. I just see the Ace of Pentacles, just so you know. Alright, so Temperance. So you may be dealing with a Sagittarius. Queen of Wands, yeah, possibly a female Sagittarius, but it doesn't have to be. And the Knight of Pentacles. So we got some people in here. Alright, Virgos, this may be you here. By the way, happy birthday. I thought I got you guys first, and I didn't. I got my sign first this month, so, or this coming month. After tomorrow, it's September. All right, number 5, what is the tide bringing in? So, new gifts. Okay, the Hermit. There you go. You're bringing in yourself. It could be truth, research, that kind of thing, vision, wisdom. All right, number 6. What unexpected meetings can you expect for September? Unexpected encounters, mysterious meetings. What can you expect? Or actually not expect? I think it's funny, you're right in the center of this reading. Okay, King of Pentacles, that's probably you. Could be a Taurus, because it does have the bulls and it always reminds me of Taurus. And And some people say the Empress is reminiscent of Taurus. So, number 7, what should you say goodbye to? That was just me losing my grip. So you know, I don't pull just cards, any card that might slip. It's whatever I can tell I didn't do it. Okay, Page of Cups, what should you say goodbye to? Alright, number 8, what should you remember? Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to have to pull. Okay, Tower reverse is what you should remember. Alright, what are the results or the conclusion, the outcome for September for Virgos? Okay, 10 of Wands. All right, and then what is your next step after this result, conclusion, or outcome? That's way too much. But I did see the 5 of Pentacles, so it could be moving on. There's way too many there. That's crazy. Okay, well that wanted to come, so 10 of Swords. And I did happen to see 5 of Swords reversed. So be careful how you talk, okay? Okay, I'm going to shuffle that and then do the bottom of the decks. Bottom of the deck, the Devil. So that 5 of Swords may come into play with that 10 of Swords in the Tower. I'm not clarify if needed, but I have a lot of cards here. It seems like there may be a lot of people involved. Okay, so the first card is what can be used. And I got the 3 of Cups. To me, this talks of working together. So what can be used? Well, you can use a victory. It's also a conclusion, which is actually what this card down here is supposed to be representing as a conclusion. But you can use a conclusion. You can use being fulfilled. You can use a pledge. This is a pledge. But it's in reverse. So I feel like you're using alone time to heal and get solace because you previously haven't had a good outcome. You may be lost in some kind of a competition, like dating, for instance, or even with coworkers. Okay, the next one is what should you put aside, temporarily, because saying goodbye is down here, okay? But what should you put aside? We have the Empress reverse. So put aside feeling insecure, put aside something that's not working. If people aren't working with you, that's something that you can use to your advantage, work on yourself. But put aside any insecurities. Again, put aside denial. Put aside if somebody's not talking to you, because I get the feeling that somebody is kind of blocking somebody. If somebody's not talking to you, put that aside. Ignore it. If you feel like you don't have any power, you're lacking some meaning in your life, put that aside, okay? Because it looks like that you have to get something done, but it's more like internally. Also, there's something you're doing, some kind of an activity, but it's not really working. A lot of people been getting that this month. But I see an unproductive activity, and it's affecting other areas of your life. And there's a need to work to make this better. I feel it maybe looks wise. I think maybe you feel like you can't date because you don't feel like you look good. But we have somebody who feels insecure and ugly. Then we have somebody who isn't focused on their looks. Or they're focused on their looks, but they think they're not very beautiful. And it looks like you may be having a change of career. Yeah. But it looks like it might get delayed. And it's just saying put that aside for now. Because this is delayed job opportunity. It could be a delayed any opportunity. But then with the King of Pentacles here and Tower reversed, Ten of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, it could be very much delayed. That doesn't really go with why the Devil and the Ten of Swords is here. Unless you had a really bad boss. I'm seeing just put aside anything that's not committed and not working. You're not seeing something that's not productive. Put that aside. Okay? That could be something as simple as procrastination. Just put procrastination aside and start working on something that works. Okay? The next one is what should you prepare for? And that's when we got all these cards. So we have Five of Cups reversed. This is finally seeing the Two of Cups. So once you kind of put aside some of that insecurity and negativity that has been going on, where you're not seeing anything, it's like this card right here, this morning turns around and you're coming out of that sad time. So you're preparing for something good. Yes, there is some kind of a missed opportunity, but it's as if here you're hyper-focused, and normally that's good. But when there's something you have to put aside, like being insecure, feeling like your outward appearance is not how you feel on the inside, that's focusing on this, just the shallow portions of appearances, okay? And this is saying you're not focused on that anymore. So that's a good thing. Some of you, it is about dating though, okay? Some of you feel insecure about dating, and what you should prepare for is not focusing on that. Or preparing for people perhaps being shallow, and you shouldn't take that to heart. You shouldn't focus on it. Because we have dating. So, and this is also being very emotionally fulfilled. She's dancing for joy. That's what she does inside her bubble. But I feel you may try to isolate yourself, so please don't do that. Especially with the Hermit here. I'm seeing that you should actually get out into the world and date. But with the Seven of Cups here, I feel like you're having a hard time making a decision, and you feel like you don't have any options. And you feel like you've lost some things, and I just get this idea over and over again that you don't have, not that you don't, but you don't think you have anything to bring to the table. And whatever situation this is, it applies for you. I feel like, I don't know, like living in a fantasy world. But I'm seeing losing obsession, seeing reality, but the reality is good. All right, the next one is what's a new path or strategy coming in? And we have Temperance. This is making things balanced. Everybody does the fair share. You're being more tolerant. I think you're, well, first people aren't working together, but I think you're cooperating more with yourself than anything. And you're getting that healing. You're being renewed. I think you're forgiving yourself in some way. And okay, so I have a lot of student cards in here and professor cards. And here I could see that there may be an issue of graduating but not able to find work. Or you find work, but it's not what you were thinking it was. Like you want to change careers, or you've gone back to school, or you plan on going back to school to change careers. We do have change of careers here. Okay, that's what that's about. You might actually just have Sagittarius or fire sign in your chart somewhere. This is somebody who's starting off on a bold new adventure, but they're going slow. They want to make sure they're secure, and that's fully understandable, okay? That is your new path or strategy. It's also offering forgiveness to people who may have done you wrong, but I feel like it's more offering forgiveness to yourself. And this is that being offered. And see, the Queen of Wands, she's a passionate woman. And when she's upright, she's passionate, but she's not drama. She's very bad when she's in reverse. But I do feel like there's this need to just have balance, harmony, take care of yourself. Because we have the Temperance and the Hermit. And then we have these 10 of Wands down here. All right, what's a new gift coming in for you? The Hermit. This is yourself. This is being self-accepting. It could be getting a teacher, becoming a teacher, getting some kind of a professor. Maybe you're taking online classes at a college. But I'm still seeing you being lonely. That may have been why I saw the Five of Pentacles. I did see the Magician twice. So it's as if you're manifesting something. Or you're wanting to. But with that Empress reversed, you're not seeing it happen. So again, I'm seeing unpredictability. And that needs to be put to the side. This is you doing it. Okay. This also says be efficient. So again, that unpredictability, put it aside. Your new gift is you're going to be proficient. And you're going to get things done. You're going to be like the researcher. But you may be going a little isolated. You may be going a little rogue. Not working. You may go into business for yourself. You may have decided to change careers. And maybe you haven't told anybody about it yet. Or you're going back to school and you haven't told anybody. Man, sorry. It's past my bedtime. I think whatever's happening is going to happen over a long period of time. So if you're going to night classes or you're taking online classes, it may take a little longer than usual, but you're going to get done. Because the Knight of Pentacles is very slow, and so is the Hermit, and it just says you're going to get done what you need to get done. You're going to find the wisdom you need, and you can go back and share it. So again, I could see you being a teacher. But at some point, if this is about love, which I feel it could be, you end up changing. And it's like you come back and you reveal that to someone. But that could be, doesn't have to be a makeover, doesn't have to be a degree. I'm not really one for people who, I don't believe in people needing to prove themselves. I think people are enough. I get that feeling like you want to reveal something, or that somebody wants to reveal to you how different they are. Because beforehand, this person, which I believe is you, has had very low self-image. And that could be due to education or appearance, or even past mistakes they've made. And this is just something that's been binding someone. And since there is some moderation in here, I feel addiction is here. I feel it's more drug-based than like sexual, for instance. Because we have the cups turned over and spilled. Lots of them, actually, especially with the 7 of Cups there. Definitely addiction. But somebody is like coming to reality about it. So that may be somebody who's changed because of that. And then we have being sober, being very responsible and sober. Very, very, very responsible and like getting your own business, like becoming your own boss. Yeah, and then we have this, which is definitely addiction. And to me, even though I haven't talked about this yet, this is like something, some kind of habit or something is kicked. All right, what's the unexpected meeting? King of Pentacles. This is a businessman. To me, this reminds me of you, but because it's an unexpected meeting, our mysterious encounter, this can't be you. So it could be another earth sign. This reminds me of Taurus, so it could be a Taurus, but could just be a business person. But this person is very responsible. I mean, they're the older version of the Knight of Pentacles. And then we have all of them in here. We have Page, Knight, and King. That's another reason why I was saying that somebody has changed. They could have actually just matured. Because beforehand, they were the Page of Pentacles, but in reverse, which says they weren't even as mature as the Page. And the Page is the youngest you can get. This would be very childish. They were in reverse. They weren't even the Page. They were like less than the Page. They were like a baby, okay? And then they become the Knight, and then they become the King. So this is not you, then it's them, but if it's you, then that's just saying how much you've matured. You've gained wisdom. You've grown wiser. I feel like this could be a business partner. But I'm seeing there may be some mixing of business with pleasure. Because I don't usually see this, but anytime you notice one thing particular about a card that you don't usually notice, that's usually important. That's why you notice it. And I was just noticing that armor on his leg and his foot. I don't usually see him in armor. I usually just look at the robe and think, yeah, he's in robes. But when I saw that, I thought, okay, so that lets me think that not only is this person a business person, and they're very fruitful, they're very good at what they do, but there may be a little mixture of romance and business, because I think of Knight in Shining Armor. Doesn't have to be male, though. Okay. The next one is, what should you say goodbye to? Page of Cups. Something very childish and immature. You could say goodbye to auditioning, feeling like you have to audition for people. You could say goodbye to being in conflict with people. And you're saying goodbye to your old way because you're seeing things with new eyes. So you could even be saying bye to a certain love interest. Okay. But I mainly see letting go of childishness, bad communication, that type of thing. I'm also seeing, because I talked about that business and pleasure type of thing, I'm saying say goodbye to any kind of negotiations, which would be business deals usually. This talks about negotiations that turn romantic. That's something to let go of. So that may be a good indication of what you should be doing. All right, what should you remember? The Tower reversed. At least it's reversed. It could be worse. But Tower reverse, if it's trying to tell you what you should remember, to me that's a little bit of a warning as well when the Tower pops up. Because it says whatever the lightning should have struck down, it tends to go towards the innocent in reverse instead of people who should have been struck down. And so the people who should get caught don't. Also, because this is something to remember, the advice here is remember, we win some, we lose some. It's just how it is. So you're not being punished, and we're not being rewarded all the time. It's more like rain falls on the just and the unjust. So you need to let go of some things. Remember that some things are just out of touch with reality. And you're coming out of a bad situation. Also, be careful about confronting people, because I saw that 5 of Swords and it ended up with the 10 of Swords. Be careful about what you say, because it was in reverse. And that means that usually the rudeness is on your part, but it could be reversed, okay? Because everybody's different. With the Hermit here right underneath the Tower, it says, remember to learn from your mistakes. So again, I did see somebody who was, regretting some mistakes they made, and they were trying to show how they changed. That may have been you. But it doesn't have to be you. It could be the person that you're thinking of. But the mistakes could be a result of addiction from your past that you're having to moderate because that devil here, it says with the Tower, there's dire consequences as a result of an addiction. But it's in reverse, so it's like it's not that bad. It was supposed to be dire, but it's not. All right, what are the results or the conclusion? 10 of Wands. So you could get a job, and it's a lot of work, but it's considered a promotion because with promotions come more work. And there may be a lot of guilt that's still coming around. And I feel like there's a health issue in regards to weight. And I have no business telling anybody about their weight, but because we're talking about appearances and wanting to show people how we've changed, and I see career change, so that could just be like completely a life change. Then we have addictions and being weighed down and burdened. I could see this because it's also 10 of Wands is unable to say no, punishing yourself. So saying weighed down by something. You could be weighed down by extra pounds. Okay. And then with that Magician I saw earlier twice on the bottom of this deck and the bottom of the other one when I was shuffling, again I get that idea that you're working really hard to prove yourself. Some of you are working hard to prove that you can be good looking on the outside. You're trying to win somebody that way. And again, I'm someone who doesn't think we should have to prove ourselves. Because then we're saying people aren't enough as they are. And we're all very valuable every second of every day. But there's also somebody who's trying to prove themselves by going back to school. There's somebody who's trying to prove themselves because they feel guilty, most likely because of a past addiction or one that they've recently gotten out of. They may have recently come out of rehab. That may be you, and that's why you're the Virgo here. But overall, there's a moderation. All this has changed. But then we have all this coming back. So it's like moderation, and then overburdened. So if you feel like you're going to fall off the bandwagon because it looks like you're trying to prove yourself and then like you have a slip and you're taking it all back on again. And that could be the guilt you feel. Because here with that 10 of Wands and 10 of Swords, you could feel like you kind of self-sabotaged is what I'm getting. But both of these cards here say there is new hope after a loss. Whatever it is. So you could feel like you did all this stuff and then maybe there was trouble with graduation. And so it's a very disappointing ending. You got closure, like you've been wanting, but it was a little painful. So it could even be a breakup, which this usually is. But this would be a temporary breakup or a delayed breakup. And it's trying to put in a lot of effort. We have 2 10s here, plus with the World. I see that some kind of new cycle is needing to start. Oh, sorry. But just because this failed before, remember we had this try a new strategy, try a new approach, and it was taking things slow, being bold and taking a step, but going slowly. And it's that moderation or forgiveness, making things work. You may even decide you're trying to go into chemistry. Maybe you want to be a lab technician. Maybe you want to be a chemist in some way. That may be a strategy or a new path that you're taking. However, by the time you get to the 10 of Wands, this could say, try another approach. Because obviously if you're doing moderation, balance, bam, 10 of Swords. 10 of Wands. That's a big burden. Now for people who got a job, that's a promotion. For people who are working on holding back on things, that's missing the mark on that, which is okay. It's just the need to keep going after that. And it's also realizing just combining all your forces and getting something done. Stretching your own limits to get something done and move forward. Somebody may have taken advantage when maybe you were in conflict with someone and you felt like you got betrayed or stabbed in the back. Somebody just took advantage. You were fighting and they thought, oh, we're not friends anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and just cover myself and throw you under the bus. I'm not sure why that's coming out, but it's very random. But somebody's not being very forthright. They're hiding their face. And I think it's more like a guilt or a shame you're carrying, because we have another person who's hiding their face. So it's like getting over something and then kind of falling back into it. You're coming to reality about something and then you fall right back into it. And it's just, there's a need to keep going on this cycle until we finally get it. And so you get the closure. It's just a little painful. And this is also a closure that's not completely finished. It'll be very done if it's here. But here, you're still stuck to the ground, okay? It's still painful. Here, the swords fall out and you can crawl away. You're not dead or staked to the sand or whatever it is. So it's getting close. But overall, any stress, anything that's harmful to you or addicting is something that you're going to have to keep working at. But I feel like you shouldn't have to prove yourself, because that's just a good way to feel bad about yourself and not actually make the goal you're wanting, because you're not really doing it for you, okay? You don't need to prove anything to yourself, let alone anybody else, okay? All right, good luck, guys.